Hello again, okay, here in this video. You remember a firefighter wasn't that long ago who got suspended from his job. That's right, I did a video up on the TFL Truth channel. Well, the firefighter got suspended from his job because he had an American flag on his locker, a little sticker of the American flag, and they told him to remove it, okay? Well, he actually didn't get fired, he got suspended, okay? So he was suspended without pay because he didn't remove the American sticker from his locker in the United States of America, his country, his flag. Okay? I also want you to think about something else. I've told you 1,000 times, I've told people before that our founding fathers fought against the bankers, okay? That's right. Because that's the truth. They fought against the bankers to begin with, okay? And a lot of people didn't realize that, because of all the manipulation that goes on and people not really knowing what's going on behind the scenes way back with our founding fathers. Okay? Well, I'm going to show you a clip here. Okay? And I want you to, before I show you this clip, I want you to remember this. I want you to remember all the incidences that's happened with law enforcement and the American people in the last few years, from the handicapped person in the wheelchair pushed out of the wheelchair, to the guy in the railroad station who the cops had down, and the cop pulled out a gun and shot him in the back for no reason at all and claimed he was reaching for a taser. To the kid who fell off the bridge and the cop tasered him after he'd fallen off the bridge and was critically hurt and couldn't fight, couldn't move, couldn't do nothing. Was helpless, defenseless, and the cop still had to taser him. That's right. I want you to think about how the cops have been treating the people, and how I told you before that to become a cop of the United States, if you knew your constitutional rights and you knew what was right and what was wrong, and you believe in your Constitution, you believe in the right to freedom of speech, okay? Because you believe in your Constitution and rights to bear arms. How to become a cop in the United States, you have to be a complete dumbass, because if you know your Constitution and want to uphold your Constitution, you can't be a cop in the United States, okay? It's just that simple. Why? I'll tell you why. It's because of the bankers. Once again, I told you it was because of the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. These two family dynasties have started and financed all the wars pretty much across this globe for hundreds of years. These two families have. Our founding fathers fought against them for that very reason, because they wanted to dictate and run the world then. They want all the wealth for themselves, okay? They want all the power and control of other people for themselves. They want everybody to be a peasant, a slave to them. For them to be the ones to dictate who lives and who don't live. For everybody to work for their comfort. And for them to do nothing but you obey the slave you are. I know this sounds crazy, but it's not. It's not. It's exactly what's really happening, okay? Well, this video I'm going to show you, I want you to remember the stuff I've just told you, okay? You're going to see a segment in here where law enforcement is being taught that our founding fathers were terrorists. Okay? Well, of course our founding fathers were terrorists to the bankers. Our founding fathers were always terrorists to the bankers, because that's who they fought against. See, that's where even people like Nate that caught in my radio show don't have the first clue of what he's talking about. Okay? Of course he thinks he does, but he don't. The founding fathers fought against the bankers, okay, to stop the bankers from what they were trying to pull off back then. And that's when we got our Constitution. That's when we became the free country, okay, that we are. In all of our jobs and everything, we had the right to be self-dependent. We had a right to, we could establish a business and grow wealth on our own. We could. Bankers don't want that. They don't want nobody to be able to have their own business and earn their own wealth. They want to control that because they want all of that for themselves. That's what greed does, people. And then, of course, through greed comes power, and with power and greed put together, it'll totally corrupt the human mind and turn you into a piece of shit, a fucking evil, twisted, sick fucking. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what it does. And that's how come the Rothschilds and the Rockefeller family dynasties, pretty much the entire family clan of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, are very, very, very sick people. They're sick and demented, sick in the head, delusioned. They stole every last thing they ever got. They never earned anything they got. They stole it. And I'm for taking them down. This should have been done years and years and years and eons and eons and eons ago. If we had went after them before, we would have never had the wars we had. If we don't go after them now, you will have your third world war. Millions of people will die for no reason at all other than straight up ignorance. These families need taken out. They need put maybe one of the camps they built for us. Okay? All of their wealth needs to be taken and given back to the world's population, to the people, globally. Because that's where they got it from. They stole it. They didn't earn it. They stole it because they're thieves. Okay? So, with that being said, I want you to watch this clip. I want you to remember what I said about the firefighter and the flag. I want you to remember who the terrorist is, because in this clip you're going to see who the real terrorist is, and that's me and you. That's anybody that believes in for what's right. Anybody that dares to not believe in what the bankers want. Okay? So watch this clip. Leave your opinions and comments. To the next video. Have a good one.
In the United States, the central government is federalizing local police.
State and local officers are in a great position to collect important information on terrorists and their allies. And the Terrorist Screening Center stands ready to help you.
This video, produced by Homeland Security, is required viewing for all departments in the U.S.
And with the teamwork of local, state, and federal law enforcement, we have an excellent opportunity to see the picture and solve the puzzle before these terrorists can strike again.
State, county, and city police now take their marching orders directly from DHS and FEMA. The videos and training manuals turn peace officers, once guardians of the Republic, into secret police.
See way down there? There's a woman taking photos of the dam. Someone called 911 and reported a suspicious person. As you guessed, she's going to be a Category 3 hit. And since it's very important that we don't let her know that we know, both the dispatcher and the officer need to make sure she doesn't hear the radio traffic.
Stand by. If I could ask you to wait right here, please.
Sure.
Everyday items and activities are listed as proof that you are sympathizing with shadowy boogeymen of terror.
Of course, he's going to keep his eyes open for anything interesting or unusual in the car. That would include cameras, binoculars, video equipment, GPS, maybe things like sleeping bags that suggest they're living out of the car.
From their inception, Homeland Security and Northcom were set up to dominate the people and the states, not to fight the CIA-created Al-Qaeda. Patriotic members of the military and law enforcement, at great risk to their lives and careers, have sent this filmmaker federally and internationally produced law enforcement manuals, textbooks, documents, and videos. The MIAC report, distributed to Missouri law enforcement, lists gun owners, libertarians, constitutionalists as potential terrorists. The federally written document went on to list Ron Paul, Bob Barr, and American flag bumper stickers as dangerous paraphernalia linked to white supremacists. Even before 9/11, FEMA was quietly indoctrinating local police to have a hatred of the Founding Fathers and everything our constitutional republic stands for.
Who was the first terrorist organization in the United States? Who? Founding Fathers. Founding Fathers. You mean Thomas Jefferson? Oh, yeah. You mean George Washington? Oh, yeah. Paul Revere? Yeah. These guys right here, let me ask you something. Did they try to scare people? Oh, yeah. They tried to intimidate the British. Did they use acts of violence? Your founding fathers, my founding fathers, were involved in acts of terrorism against British officials because they systematically had British officials assassinated.
In the old Soviet Union, Nazi Germany, and Maoist China, the police's main job was not fighting crime. In totalitarian forms of government, the police are political enforcers, or commissars as they were known in Russia. It's their job to spy on the public and to intimidate the exercise of free speech. Once a climate of fear has been achieved,